Time now for Media Watch, which means James Creedon is here, primed, ready, the computer up and running. You've been surfing stuff today. I know Dominic Strauss-Kahn's book coming out on Thursday, and we've got something online about his side of the story of his, well, let's call it his fall from grace.
Yes, indeed. And so this, you could call it the counter-offensive. There was that article last weekend by Epstein, an investigative journalist. That was just a lucky timing for Dominic Strauss-Kahn in a way. It more or less said that there was a lot of fishy stuff.
Sort of alleged a plot against him.
That's right. So I suppose Dominic Strauss-Kahn is pretty pleased at that sort of coverage. And now there's this book. It's I think we have the front cover of it here by Michel Taubman. He's more or less his biographer. It's going to come out tomorrow, and there's extracts already in the media. And we'll just have a look at what Le Monde has dug up for us. Apparently, he has said in this book, nothing would have happened if I hadn't had those stupid but consensual relations with Nafissatou Diallo. So stupid but consensual relations. That opened the door to all the other scandals. In other words, he's saying Pandora's box. In it, he also admitted having had a kind of a libertine attitude to sex. But
libertine means free, easy sex with multiple
free and
partners,
easy,
that kind of
sort of stuff. That sort of stuff. But he says that this is his claim anyway, that's not rare in the worlds of business or politics.
That'd be interesting to do a straw poll on that one, definitely. It's an interesting line from Strauss-Kahn.
I'm not sure the others would admit to it.
What's he saying about the kind of places where he's been doing business and carrying out his career then?
Well, I suppose what he's saying is that he's not alone in those sort of antics. But of course, it took this scandal to come out with that sort of admission, I suppose. Other things that he said, this is a mixture of what he has said and what his biographer has also said, because his biographer spoke to Parry Match, as we see here. Yeah. And he said that Taubman asked him, what has changed for you, Dominique, in the last 6 months? He said, I was in a position to become president. Now I'm not. That's all. So in other words, that's the only thing that's changed, which I don't think is not true. And as for his lifestyle, he said, I've decided to break with my past. All of that is finished. I suppose we know what he's referring to.
But has his past decided to break with him? It's probably the next question, isn't it? Eh?
Tune in, I suppose, in what would you say, another year to see if we have an update on that one.
There's a lot of water to run under that particular bridge. Right. Let's put it that way. Right. Okay, we'll move on. An advertisement showing Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe, president for the past 3 decades, of course, as the last dictator standing, has become an overnight hit. Tell us how and why.
All right, this is Nando's. It's a fast food chain from South Africa, and they're known for doing kind of controversial ads. They had one before about Jacob Zuma, the South African president, and loads of wives, and pointing out his polygamous situation. And this time, let's take a look. You can see Mugabe and his good buddy Gaddafi, and listen to the music. Those were the days, my friends.
Mugabe with Saddam Hussein.
And various other dictators through the ages, pushing them on swings. They're all having a wonderful time, except, of course, Mugabe is now the only one left. And the whole thing is he was having a dinner party, he'd invited them along, and now, look, he's at the table on his own. And a chance for the fast food chain then to say, oh, don't eat alone, buy a 6-pack of whatever, not a 6-pack of beer, but food. Anyway, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Be interesting to see how that one works, I suppose. Right. You've got a story here about a plastic surgeon in the US who, this is gross, uses cement instead of collagen. This sounds like a medical story gone terribly wrong.
Well, do you want to see the photo? Let's take a look at what happened to this particular lady, Raji Narinashi. Now, she was obviously hoping to perk up those cheeks, but probably not that much. And no, it's a really horrendous story, actually. The person in question, and I think we have pictures of the charlatan surgeon. What he was doing was he was using a mix of mineral oils, Fix-A-Flat aerosol, and cement.
That's another victim?
And this is actually, bizarrely, the perpetrator of the crime, O'Neill Ron Morris. Now,
I'm sorry, that's the surgeon?
That's the surgeon. I think she had turned the knife on herself at various points and injected a bit of cement into her hips and various areas. The story behind this is that they were transsexuals and they were undergoing surgery, I suppose, to look a little bit more curvaceous and womanly.
Sure.
And clearly took that to incredible extremes. Anyway, they've been arrested. Or the lady in question has been arrested. This particular victim, whose name is Raji Narayanesinghe, is just the latest of a series of people to come out and say that they had botched surgery at the hands of this particular charlatan. Extraordinary stuff. Using cement.
It's extraordinary, it's immoral, it's just criminal.
It's awful, and the result is pretty terrible. Do you want to know how he closed up the wounds? Or
Tell me.
Super glue.
Super glue.
Yeah.
Good heavens. James, thank you. I don't know if to thank you or hate you for that one. Thank you very much indeed. James Creedon there with the serious side of life. Sad story, isn't it? Terribly sad story. James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon there with Media Watch.